We can't win the league today, but we can certainly lose it. So we need to make sure we beat Hearts and Motherwell in this penultimate episode of the league season. Let's get into it. Yes, hello, welcome in to 11 Sports here for the Killie boys on Football Manager 21. If you're new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more daily Football Manager content. If you missed the last episode, go and see it. The last few are just going to be one after the other, after the other, after the other. No games in between as we get to the end of this season. It's getting very exciting indeed. Last time out, we played AC Milan in the second leg of our Europa League quarter-final. Go and check that out, as well as playing Rangers in our first post-split fixture. And after that, you see in the Scottish Premiership here, it left us just 1 point behind Rangers with these 4 games to go. So we play up against Hearts and Motherwell today. Tomorrow's episode will be Celtic and Hibs to finish off this season. And fingers crossed, we can get our second league title in our 10-year tenure here at Kilmarnock Football Club. Let's just get straight into these games. Hearts are in 5th and Motherwell are in 6th, and hopefully we can get the wins today. Looking back on the previous games against them, we've played Hearts in the Scottish Cup. We beat them 3-0 in March. We drew against them in December, and we beat them in September. Against Motherwell, we beat them in the first time we played them there in August. We also beat them in the Betfred Cup quarter-final. We played them later on and we beat them in December. We played them later on and we beat them in February. So we've beaten them every single time. So you know what's going to happen? We're not going to beat them today. But I'm going to be confident and be positive. Surely we can get 2 wins today. While we do this, Rangers play against Celtic and Hibs, which are 2 of the tougher teams that they've got to play against. So hopefully they drop some points there, because they'll finish their season against Hearts and Motherwell, which are slightly easier than our finish against Celtic and Hibs. Let's show you the team for this game against Hearts. So we've got a few injuries to worry about. Edward Lambert is out injured for the next 5 to 12 days, which is not ideal. Louis Sibley's got a wee bit of a knock. Hamel's coming back from injury. Sika's not got full fitness. Rodriguez is struggling for some fitness. So, a couple of changes to the side that we wouldn't necessarily want to make. But this is what the team's going to go with. I'm going to go with Francois in goal. He's actually played 3 league games for us and kept 3 clean sheets. So I'll give Ryan Morris a little break today. Perez and Anderson can be the partnership at centre-back. Rodriguez on the right. Gareno on the left. Vlalic and Stacey in midfield with Jovic just in front of them. Boba will fill in for Lambert on the right. And Ketia plays on the left as always. And Alfredo up front after those 2 goals against Rangers in the last episode. Let's get into this one. A highlight very early on here. Gareno throws the ball in and it goes straight to a Hearts player, and Hearts can break away here. Ross Forrest, former Killie man, plays it forward towards Scarlett, and he hits that ball well over the bar into the Hearts fan behind the goal, and it's still 0-0 here. Another throw in from the left hand side. Let's see if it goes to our own player this time. It does. It goes to Jovic. He plays it through to Alfredo. Alfredo can probably find Boba here. He does. Boba comes inside. Well, he hit it. He does indeed. And we're up 1-0 very early on in this game. 7 minutes in. Our first shot of the game results in our first goal of the game. Lovely play from Alfredo and Boba there. Boba filling in for Lambert on the right-hand side. Alfredo gets this ball, gives it to Boba, and Boba comes inside his man, drives forward, and just slots that into the near post. 1-0 Killie. What a start. Throw in from Rodriguez in towards Jovic. Jovic loses it though, but Rodriguez heads it back to Jovic, and he gets fouled in the box. He does indeed. Alfredo is going to take this penalty, and can he finish it? He missed his last one. Wide left. Can he score this one? Yes, he can. The opposite direction he goes. The keeper goes the right way, but he's not close enough to that ball. It's a good finish from Alfredo. His 13th of the season. He's growing into this team. I'll look forward to how he does next year. It's a great penalty, to be honest. The keeper had made a great effort, but it wasn't good enough. You can see the score's just above me there. Rangers are winning 1-0 against Celtic in a game that I was hoping Celtic might be able to do something. Maybe take a couple of points off Rangers, but it looks like it might not be the case. Boba's got the ball here, though. We're just going to keep pushing pushing forward, it looks like. Burgess back to Daly Campbell, and the ball played toward Guerrero, but he intercepts that. Jovic has it into Alfredo. Over to Boba on the right-hand side. Can this ball get played into the box? Gets challenged well by the defender, but he swings it in now to Stacey on the edge, and it's a penalty. It's a handled ball from McCalmont there, and Alfredo can get his second penalty of the game inside the first 20 minutes. Can he finish it? Yes, same place as the first one. The keeper doesn't make as good an effort to dive for it there. And that's 2 penalties scored inside the first 20 minutes for Alfredo, and we're up 3-0. That's a great penalty. Throw in again from Guerrero on this left-hand side to Jovic. Jovic back to Guerrero, and then Ketty back to Jovic. Can he finish here? Oh, it's a good save from Whiteman at the front post. We're dominating the highlights here. The stats look fairly equal, apart from the goals, obviously. Boba swings this in, and it's headed away. But somehow we're up 3-0. Swung in from the right hand side for the corner here. McCalmont swings it in. It's headed away by Rodriguez. Alfredo comes away with the ball. He's driving forward down this right hand side. He's got many things. And he goes for himself. It's a great shot. And Whiteman with the save. It's been a very exciting first half here. Guerrero throws another ball in, and Ketia does not win it, but Stacey collects it. And what's he going to do with the ball? He finds Jovic. Back to Stacey. Stacey to Nketiah. Can Nketiah finish? Oh, he curls it round the keeper, but it bounces off the post and is eventually cleared away by Hearts. It's been lots and lots of highlights in this game so far. Most of them for us, and 3 of the goals have been scored by us. Being up 3-0 here at halftime. A nice performance so far. I'll tell the boys to keep doing what they are doing. Rangers still beating Celtic at the moment. I would like for that to be slightly different, but we'll see how that continues in the last half an hour of this game. We can probably take off some of our more important players just to keep them fresh. Jovic can come off. We'll bring on Ryan Hamill for him. Rodriguez is struggling at right back, remember, before the game, so we'll bring on Sika to cover there for half an hour. Probably an improvement at right back, to be honest, the way that Sika's been playing this season. Rangers are still ahead of us, and that's them up 2-0 now. It looks like they're going to beat Celtic in what would be perhaps the only game that they could drop points here, which is making our life very difficult indeed. Stacey can come off for Payne. Sure, not as many highlights in this second half. Boba with a free kick, though he hits it. Oh, top corner. Fantastic goal from Boba. His 14th of the season. Both Boba and Lambert are very good set-piece takers. So whenever Lambert's not there and Boba's playing in the right midfield position, it really doesn't remove our set-piece threat. It's a lovely, lovely goal. And we're up 4-0 here with just a few minutes to go. Still 1 point behind Rangers because they are beating Celtic. It means that second place is now definitely guaranteed, as if it wasn't really already properly guaranteed beforehand. A nice dominant performance against Hearts there in our first game of the day, and we get to play Motherwell in our second one. You see, Motherwell recently drew 0-0 with Hibs, so not in the best run of form, but a nice draw against Hibs, who are a fairly good, decent team in the league. Really, it's ourselves, Rangers and Celtic are the top 3. Then there's kind of Hibs by themselves, as you can see from the league table, and then it's the teams below them. So yeah, hopefully we can beat Motherwell when we play them in just a few days' time. And well, that's a very nice thing to see. We have won the Scottish Players Manager of the Year. Very nice indeed to do that. Very strange that has already been awarded before the season's finished. I find that very strange. Have we won it before? We have. We won it the year that we won the league. So is that an omen for this? Maybe that we're going to win the league. I'm not sure if you could say that's the case, but we will see. But very nice to see anyway. Right, so here we are, ready for a game against Motherwell. You can see Rangers travel to Hibs. Probably the last chance we have, I'd imagine, of Rangers dropping points. They play against Hearts and Motherwell for the last 2 games, so we'd like to be ahead of them by the time we have to play Celtic and Hibs in our last 2 games. But let's see what happens. Just looking at the other end of the table, Ayr and Dundee fighting for the relegation place. One of them will get in the playoff. One of them will be automatically relegated. The rest of the teams are safe. And looking at the team, we're going to go with the same one as last time. Lambert's still injured, so we're going to go Francois in goal, Perez and Anderson at the back, Rodriguez and Guerrero at full back, Vlalic, Stacey and Jovic in the middle, Boba on the right, Ketty on the left, and Alfredo up front. Let's get into another good win, I would quite like. A dominant performance is really what I was trying to say there, but I forgot how to say the word dominant. Highlight straight from kickoff here for Motherwell. It's with Gibbons on the right. And then it comes to Milligan, and the ball switched. Rodriguez heads it away for us, who's obviously playing it right back instead of Sika. He's been there for the last couple of games. And Ketia gets it on the left-hand side. What's he going to do? Into Alfredo. The ball's bouncing about. Boba with it now. Finds Nketiah, and we're up 1-0. 30 seconds on the clock. And we're up 1-0 because we're amazing. That's a weird kind of rolling about from Nketiah there, but he can do whatever he wants if he scores a goal like this. He comes forward. Alfredo passes it back. It gets challenged by Campbell. Boba gets it back to Nketiah. First time finish in that bottom corner. 1-0. Throw from the left. Guerrino throws it in, but it's headed away. But Vlalic with a great challenge there. And Stacey's got it now. Finds Boba. Got the overlap with Rodriguez if he wants it. Yep. But Vlalic gets it now. It's going back the way. Perez finds Boba. Back to Rodriguez. Can it go forward again? To Boba. It can. And Rodriguez. They're just keeping the ball between themselves at the moment. Jovic with it. Finds Stacey. This could go left. Guerrino's on the overlap if they need it. Alfredo with it. What's he going to do? Oh, the ball just was kicked about, and eventually it gets cleared away, and Perez holds on to it now. Into Vlalic and Rodriguez and Boba. And can we get down the line here? No, it's over to Perez. Infield. It switches to the other side, and Ketia. Guerrino's on the overlap if he wants to use him. No, he gets fouled in the box, and it means there's going to be a penalty here after 4 minutes. And Alfredo, if he could tuck this away, we're up 2-0 early on. Can he do it? He scored the last 2 he had to take. He takes this one, and he thrashes that in the corner of the goal. The opposite side than when he scored the last 2 penalties. But it's a good finish. Not many keepers are going to save that one. Boom, right in that side netting, right in the corner. And it's 4 minutes in and we're 2-0 up. Hearts have just went ahead against Celtic. So you never know, maybe Hearts or Motherwell could get something against Rangers. But the Rangers game is still 0-0. And Ketia's breaking away here. What can he do? Can he thread through? No, he goes for it himself. It's a fairly poor effort when Alfredo was available for the ball through. Half an hour gone. Goalkeeper takes a free kick. It's kind of headed about. It goes to Milligan. Can he get past Anderson? Let's see. He goes down that left-hand side, or our left-hand side, I should say, but Anderson blocks it. And Ketia with it now. Can he find Alfredo further forward, or does he go and run himself? He goes right down this left-hand side. Great play from Ketia. Nice burst of pace there. It's swinging toward Boba, who flicks it to Alfredo, and Alfredo has headed that, and I'm not quite sure what the goalkeeper was doing. We'll have to see that in the replay. But a good goal. And Ketia bombing down that left-hand side with that turn of pace. Defenders have no idea what's going on. He swings in a great ball from the byline. Boba heads it. Alfredo just gets up in front of the defender and the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper's in absolute no man's land. And we're up 3-0. We're just reaching half-time here, and it's been a very dominating performance from us. There's a chance here possibly for another goal before half-time. Jovic with it on the right-hand side. He drives down that line, finds Rodriguez. Go back to Vlalic here. Swung into the back post, and Ketia with a lovely headed finish. And that's his 8th goal of the season. Remember, he was injured for a little while, so he's not scored as many goals as he did last year. But we're 4-0 up here at half-time. 2 dominant performances in the 2 games so far today. Obviously, that game against Hearts, a nice win. And in this first half performance has been totally dominant. What a rise from Nketiah, but what a ball in from Vlalic to begin with. And that is lovely. And Hibs have just went up 1-0 against Rangers. It doesn't make any difference in terms of positions in the league. We're still ahead of them whether they draw or lose. But it means that they're 2 points behind us should they lose. It's disallowed goal. Anderson got up at the back post there. I'm assuming there was a push or something like that, or an offside. But yes, Hibs have went up 1-0 against Rangers. It means that we're 2 points ahead, so we can afford to get a draw in one of the future games and Rangers win, and we'd still be ahead of them in goal difference. Whereas if Rangers get the draw today, it means that should we draw a game later and they win, they would go back ahead of us. So I'd love Hibs to win, and that gives us just the kind of safety net of being able to draw one of the games in the next episode. We're definitely not going to draw this one though, as we're up 4-0 and the ball's played forward and Alfredo's got onto the end of it here, and can he put his 3rd in? He can indeed, and it's a hat-trick for Alfredo there. 2 goals for Nketiah and 3 for Alfredo in the 5 here. See, Nketiah switches the ball. It's a poor header down from Clark. Worrell doesn't get there. Alfredo plays it back to Boba. He gets it back and he tucks it in at near post. 5-0 after an hour. And we've got an injury to Eddie Nketiah there, so we've taken him off. We brought on Manuel Castellon. Ryan Hamill's come on for Jovic, and Sika has come on for Perez. Perez has been suffering with a little bit of kind of fatigue and feeling jaded, so he can come off and move Rodriguez in to centre back. The loss of Nketiah is not ideal. He's been very, very good for us. You can see Hearts are up 2-0 against Celtic. I can't remember if I mentioned that or not, but just now both the Edinburgh teams are beating both the Glasgow teams, and that suits us perfectly fine. It's a draw now. I can see on the scores on the right hand side, Rangers are just a point behind us. So now they've pulled a goal back against Hibs, which is disappointing. A lovely 5-0 victory there for us. It was a good win for us there, and you can see as the scores come up that Rangers did pull one back in the 87th minute to get that draw against Hibs. It does mean that we are now ahead. We are now leading the way. We win against Celtic, we win against Hibs, and we win the league. But it does mean that we can't afford to drop a point unless Rangers drop a point. And they play Hearts and Motherwell, who we've absolutely demolished in these last two games. So I'm not quite sure if that is going to happen. But as I say, in the next episode, we play against Celtic and then we play against Hibs. We win them both. We win the league. It's in our hands. Our fate is in our hands. Can we get our second league title? Find out in tomorrow's episode. If you're looking forward to that, do hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, just to, catch up perfectly in time for tomorrow. And until the next one, we'll see you then.